Stephanie White is extremely emotional after this hard-fought game. Sophie Cunningham family is extremely pissed off.
Fans across the league are asking the same questions her family is. How many times does a player have to get hurt before someone steps in to protect them? Why does it take a devastating injury before officials start calling reckless plays for what they are?
Sophie Cunningham, oh man, I gotta tell you, this victory.
Either broke or either ruptured her patella.
The potential injury itself is severe. From the way she grabbed her knee, many believe it could be a patella rupture or a ligament tear. Best case scenario, she may return next year. Worst case, her season is finished, and her future as a consistent contributor for the Fever is put in jeopardy.
Sophie Cunningham's sister and mother weighing in on the league, and Bria Hartley right here. This is Hartley right here coming in.
Slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls
and she crushed.
With obvious fouls ignored until someone ends up seriously hurt.
But at the same time, like the referees, there were so many situations earlier on in the game that, in fairness, that the referees were letting away with. The referees thought, okay, yeah, let's tee up Sophie Cunningham straight away in the game, and that's keeping the game in control. But from minute one, the Connecticut Sun, like how many times have the Connecticut Sun against the Fever dove through people's knees?
Analysts have pointed out that referees will whistle Sophie.
Her fall right onto Sophie Cunningham's legs.
Sophie Cunningham's sister and mother weighing in on the league, and Bria Hartley right here. This is Hartley right here coming in, and she crushes in on the knee of Sophie right here.
This Sun team is out of control. Yeah, that was just dirty, man.
Bria Hartley is driving in. Sophie Cunningham or Kelsey Mitchell comes down.
Forcing the league to finally protect its stars before more careers are derailed. Because if the WNBA allows reckless plays to go unchecked, today it's Sophie, tomorrow it could be Caitlin Clark, or any other rising star who carries this league forward. The message is clear. Enough is enough. What do you think? Should Sophie's family's lawsuit be the wake-up call the WNBA needs to finally step in and protect its players? Flat, and midway through the game, disaster struck.
Bria Hartley is driving in. Sophie Cunningham or Kelsey Mitchell comes down. Sophie Cunningham overhelps, and Bria Hartley just kind of plows through her leg by the looks of things. So I need to see where she plows through.
Sophie Cunningham, known for her hustle and toughness, stepped in to help defensively when Bria Hartley of the Connecticut Sun came charging toward the basket.
I think it's accidental. I don't think it's anything too crazy, but I don't think I can rule out, considering who it is, that this is intentional here.
So, was Sophie targeted? If this were a one-time incident, maybe you could call it an accident. But when the same player has a track record, and when the same team has already been accused of going after knees before, it's hard not to question intent.
Sophie's done for the year. I tweeted out and I was like, of course, Bria. Someone said, such a dirty play, flopping right in Sophie's leg. I don't know. But again, Bria Hartley injured.
This isn't the first time their players have been accused of targeting opponents' knees or committing fouls that go far beyond hard-nosed basketball. Cunningham's injuries alone tell the story. Her ankle earlier this season, and now her knee, both against the Sun. To fans and to her family, it doesn't feel like coincidence anymore. It feels like a pattern. The referees in the league, however, seem unwilling to step in. Over and over again, games are allowed to get overly physical.
On the league, and Bria Hartley right here. This is Hartley right here coming in, and she crushes in on the knee of Sophie right here.
This Sun team is out of control. Yeah, that was just dirty, man.
Sophie Cunningham's injury was more than just a tough break in a single game. It's become a rallying point for fans, families, and players demanding change. Her family's decision to take action against the Connecticut Sun player isn't just about justice for Sophie. It's about controversy. Analysts slowed the play down and noticed something troubling. Hartley seemed to extend her fall unnaturally, diving into Sophie's extended leg in a way that wasn't part of a normal basketball movement.
Considering who it is, I'm not. Like, Bria Hartley has been ejected multiple times. She's yanked Angel by the hair. This is the Connecticut Sun. This is a team that have jumped through players' knees before.
Some immediately argued that it was intentional. Others said it was reckless at best. And when you look at Hartley's reputation, the suspicion only grows stronger. Real protection.
Sophie's mother, Paula. Hartley is a disgruntled player, having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control.
Then came Sophie's mother, and her words carried even more weight. She didn't sugarcoat anything. She described Hartley as a disgruntled, out-of-control player who has caused trouble everywhere she's played. Paula Cunningham made it clear that this wasn't an isolated accident, but a pattern. A player with a reputation for dirty fouls, but it also shines a harsh light on a much bigger problem in the WNBA. A pattern of reckless play, lack of accountability, and a league that hasn't done enough to protect its stars. Bria Hartley's involvement isn't just some random accident. This is a player with a long history of questionable behavior.
This is a professional basketball league. This is a professional basketball league where things like this happens. And it's okay to happen in their eyes, bro.
And it pushed the timeline back. But, you know, the Fever, like the admin team, they do a good job of like get you excited, like, oh shit, she's coming back. And then, you know, she's not playing another week or two.
Caitlin Clark's name has come up repeatedly in this discussion. Because if the league can't protect Sophie Cunningham, what's stopping another reckless play from sidelining Clark or any other marquee player? Fans are tired of seeing highlight moments replaced with injury updates. This is why the Cunningham family's legal move matters so much. It's more than
What is going on? And it doesn't even matter at this stage. It doesn't even matter. The Sophie Cunningham situation is all that matters.
Tiffany White is extremely emotional after this hard-fought game. Sophie Cunningham family is extremely pissed off.
Bria Hartley always at the scene of the crime, extending
Cunningham for small things, but then let dangerous plays from opponents slide without consequence. That double standard is exactly what has fueled the perception that officials are failing to do their most important job, keeping players safe. And it's not just about Sophie. If the WNBA continues down this road, other stars are at risk too.
And I think when they rushed her back that one time, and she was like, she came back to play, because, you know, there was a lot going on at that time. I think she hurt it even more.
Owls had once again injured her daughter, and this time, enough was enough.
Sophie Cunningham's sister and mother weighing in on the league. And Bria Hartley right here. This is Hartley right here coming in.
Slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls
and she crushes in on the knee of Sophie right here.
For Sophie's family, this wasn't just about frustration. It was about accountability. They believe Sophie has been unfairly targeted, and if the league, 2 serious injuries in a single season, both against the same opponent, that doesn't sound like coincidence anymore.
That was just a lot. That was extra. That was very intentional. Now, can you prove it? No, you can't prove that. But you know that there's animus there. There's previous animus versus Sophie. There's previous, rancor and vitriol between the two teams. And it just was just not a typical basketball move. She did that on purpose.
Replays only added to the
Sophie Cunningham overhelps, and Bria Hartley just kind of plows through her leg by the looks of things.
breaking news out of the WNBA.
Sophie Cunningham. Oh, man. I got to tell you, this victory, it came with a big, big, big price.
Sophie Cunningham's season took a shocking turn after a brutal collision left her injured, and now her family has had enough. They're going after the Connecticut Sun player responsible, and fans everywhere are asking,
Bria Hartley always at the scene of the crime, extending her fall right onto Sophie Cunningham's legs.
either the league enforces real accountability for dangerous plays, or families and players will be forced to take action themselves. At the end of the day, the lawsuit isn't just about Sophie Cunningham's knee, it's about the future of the league. Because if stars can't trust the WNBA to protect them, the league risks not only its credibility, but also the very athletes who drive its growth.
Sophie Cunningham, sister and mother weighing in.
What happened next left everyone stunned.
Now, when she dives, when she sees Sophie leg extending and she dives down, that's an unnatural movement. She dives right into Sophie's knee. That was the part where it's on purpose, okay? All right, that's the part where it's on purpose. No one's saying that when she crossed half court, she knew she was going to do this. No, but when she saw the opportunity, she went ahead and dove into Sophie's knee.
Hartley didn't just make contact. So when she dove into Sophie's leg in such an unnatural way, people didn't just shrug it off. They connected it to her record. And here's where the outrage grows. The Connecticut Sun as a team have built a reputation for overly aggressive, sometimes dangerous physicality.
With the ankle injury, we all thought, okay, she's broke her ankle. She rolled her ankle, and one of the times she was back pretty quick. It's just not a good scenario all around when it comes to Sophie Cunningham. Having to see her like this, it's not good for the Indiana Fever. Not good all around for fans of the sport. Not good for the sport. That biggest team in the league, the entire team is basically this regular season. Both have been against the Connecticut Sun. Both have been against this team. So this team has blown out Sophie Cunningham's ankle and blown out her knee. She has played the Connecticut Sun 3 times.
Now, injuries happen in basketball. It's part of the game. But this wasn't just any injury. This was Sophie Cunningham's second major injury this season against the very same team, the Connecticut Sun. She went crashing directly into Sophie's leg. The way she fell looked unnatural, almost like a dive straight toward Cunningham's knee. Sophie immediately grabbed at her patella in excruciating pain as she collapsed onto the hardwood.
A scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard, and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room. This is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes.
Like, no one is held responsible for this. How many times of act of violence is we're going to see in a women's basketball game? I mean, my goodness, man.
She's been ejected from games multiple times. She once yanked Angel Reese by the hair, and she consistently ranks among the dirtiest players in the league. In fact, several analysts have said the same thing. Hartley always seems to be at the scene of the crime when someone gets hurt.